Previously on Twin Portals.
SWOJ is searching for the eyes of the Stone of Galore. These magic gems are the key to opening a vault of golden dragons hidden within the city. The first eye has been uncovered in the Xanathar's lair, deep within the Waterdeep sewers. Xanathar, the insane beholder crime lord and leader of the gang that uses his own name, has caught SWOJ in the act of stealing the eye from his inner sanctum. As punishment, he has sentenced them to death and glory within the mysterious arena of blood and fortune. Meanwhile, the crystal unicorn recovered from the Zyquil-smelling alternate Waterdeep has been guiding Zay downwards, deeper into the Xanathar's domain, visiting her dreams with pleas for help.
Monstrosity. And so it's their mission to find this unicorn and free it.
Our quest log, if you played WoW, would be like 150 quests long at this point.
Yeah, you'd be deleting the old ones.
Yeah.
They're gray.
Yeah, we're not going back to that area.
So, where we left off, you were all in the Xanathar's inner sanctum. It turned invisible as its minions rushed into the room and took you all prisoner. And you let them, I believe, as Thail crawled away.
I didn't think that we had a choice about that. Do we?
Well, I mean, you always have a choce.
I let them. Zay lets them.
Okay.
Has this already happened, or this is happening right now?
Well, we can fast forward it if you like.
Then I would like to quickly pull out my my sending stone, and call Ramalia Haventree.
Okay, so the bugbears and bandits are rushing into this inner sanctum to take you guys captive. And as they're doing so, Lark, you're like pulling your sending stone out of your pocket. You're like, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop.
Ramalia, this is Lark. We're getting taken. Help us. We're in the Xanathar.
And it gets ripped out of your hand by a
no.
bugbear. At the last second. You don't know if there's a response or if anyone was listening, but you were able to say a few words at least.
Okay.
Before they take it out of your hand along with your weapons, and they tie you guys up with your hands behind your backs and lead you out of the sanctum.
I try to fake admonish Lark. Lark, that was a bad thing you did. Why would you do
Only
that?
sending stone.
The Xanathar's been very nice to us.
The Xanathar doesn't seem to be paying attention to you anymore. It's invisible, but you can hear its voice kind of hovering over the fish tank, sort of cooing over the fish like, yes, you're all right, don't worry. Ott, come here. And the dwarf that was taking care of the fish kind of runs over and casts some sort of a healing spell. The fish seems to kind of like sparkle for a little bit. But that's all behind you as you guys get taken away out of the sanctum by these guards through a really opulent audience chamber. It's got this huge 80-foot high domed ceiling and obsidian tile and strange purple symmetrical configurations, and through there to the east, down a hallway where there's this sort of chanting and a thumping noise that picks up and gets louder and louder and louder, kind of a hoo and ha and hoo and ha, and finally this big what this double door, this round double door, it's like 16 feet wide, opens in front of you, and before you is this huge fighting pit, the arena of blood and fortune. There's a lot going on in this room. You see, as you enter this room, you're coming in from the south, and there's this sort of a bleacher area. It's kind of bleachers extending about 15 feet at a diagonal, circling this 60-foot wide pit. The pit is about 15 feet down below the bleachers, and the bleachers are full of thugs of various shapes and sizes. You got bugbears, you got humanoids of every species, you got these goblin waiters running around with plates. In the plates are some sort of indistinguishable meat. It doesn't really look like normal meat. It smells tasty, though. But there's a whole lot of other smells going on in this room, too, so you only get to catch that as a whiff as it blows by when the doors open. In the middle of the arena is what looks like a small halfling in black leather armor fighting a skeletal minotaur, and the crowd is cheering and roaring as the halfling kind of ducks around and crawls up the bones of the minotaur and then stabs a knife into the skull of the boned beast, which brings it down to the ground with a kind of a magical force, and the minotaur skeleton crumbles. And there's this bugbear who's playing this big drum made out of looks like troll skin or something. It's a thick black leather. It's banging it with a warhammer. As the crowd kind of cheers in rhythm to it. And they let out a big hurrah, and the halfling stands over the Minotaur's corpse, kind of waving her knife. And on the far side of the arena, there's a little sort of a raised dais. Is that how you say it? D-A-I-S?
Yeah.
A dais.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you. And on this dais are these two figures that seem to be kind of overseeing the event. There's a sort of a hunched drow, a dark elf. It's got really tired-looking eyes and kind of matted white hair, and it seems to kind of have steepled hands. And as the halfling wins, the drow puts a finger to his mouth and says in an amplified voice, "We have a winner!" And the crowd goes nuts. And then from behind the drow, a small dwarf comes running up with a little stuffed animal of a beholder. It's like a little 2-foot stuffed beholder. And he runs up to the halfling and gives it to her. And she raises it over her head as if it's like her trophy for winning, and then is ushered away into a sort of staging area below the bleachers at the far end of the arena. So you see all of this as you enter the room.
Lark, I want you to get me one of those stuffies.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
The Xanathar's voice has since trailed away behind you all, like it's still concerned about its fish at this point. And the 4 of you are brought directly into a door on the west end of the bleachers, which is kind of right over that staging area below in the arena. And it looks like this door kind of leads into an area with some cells and a staircase going down towards the lower area, which is like the monster holding pit. And you're all brought in there, and all of your gear is confiscated unless you want to hide something. I think, Lark, you still have a lockpick or a dagger from the first time you were locked up?
Yes, a set of lockpicks
Okay.
stuck in my boot.
Do any of you want to try to sneak anything, or do you want to just let them...
Are they just wholesale stripping us naked? Or is
No, I mean, but they're patting you down and being more thorough than the guards were in the docks ward.
Okay.
Would they take something that doesn't immediately present itself as a weapon?
Such as?
The playwright's dagger?
Yes.
Oh.
Like, they're really taking everything that they can find. And
If I
leaving
hadn't
it.
brought it up, would they have left it?
She tried to hide it.
The 2 things that for some reason, I want to really keep this Deep Chalice pendant because I like the idea of breathing underwater. And I'm hoping they don't notice anything about my boots.
No, they let you keep your boots.
Okay, and so in an effort to try to keep my pendant that's probably not going to have any sort of use here, I'm freely handing over the things like my hand axes, my javelins that I've never ever used since we started. Just like, hey, and don't forget this. And I keep this one hidden in my do-rag that I'm not wearing tonight.
Very well.
They're taking everything else, though. Okay, all right.
I ensure that the Illyrian's pendant is hidden well away.
Roll sleight of hand.
Oh, no.
Not the sound of success.
11.
11. So Lyrian's pendant is taken as well, and it's all kind of thrown in a big pile, like right by the door. Like they're not trying to like lock it up or anything. It's just kind of there. And right before you guys are taken down the stairs to the monster holding pits, the guards kind of turn you around to face this raised dais, and you hear like a whoosh kind of sound, and it seems like this invisible force has flown into the room. And on this dais, there's a bunch of pillows that were just kind of like laying there, and an obvious shape of like a beholder-sized shape kind of plunk, thumps down right onto the pillows and leaves a big impression.
I think that's Xanathar.
Oh, that's a good call, Scoot.
Thanks.
Roll perception. No, I'm just kidding. And the drow once again raises his voice and says, "You will fight for your lives and for the Xanathar's blessings. The winners of the 3rd round of combat will be rewarded beyond their wildest dreams.
Cool.
The losers will die spectacularly for the Xanathar's amusement."
Are those the only 2 options?
It's too far away to hear you.
Okay.
Wait a second. They brought us down to the monster. Are we the monsters in this situation?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, wait. So do those rules apply to us? Like if we win, hey Xanathar, if we win the 3rd round, do we get rewarded beyond our wildest dreams?
As the Xanathar plops down to the pillows, you also notice that another figure kind of glides into the room from behind the Xanathar. I mean, it's invisible, so it kind of glides in from an aperture in the back of the room. And it looks like the Mind Flayer. It's kind of wearing a hood, but you can see the tentacles kind of hanging from it. And it enters the room with a sort of a chill, and it seems like everyone's kind of avoiding eye contact with it. Whenever the drow speaks, the Mind Flayer seems to almost like twitch noticeably, like it's extremely tense, and it's not really clear what the Mind Flayer's role is in all of this. But it's the 2 of them are sort of flanking the Xanathar's pillow fort on each side, the drow and the Mind Flayer.
Okay.
Opposite the room from you guys. And as you say that, Lark, you hear a sort of a rumbling from the far side of the room, and then the drow once again raises his voice and says, The two humans will be the first to fight. They put the Xanathar's most prized possession at risk, and so they'll be the first to throw their necks to the gauntlet.
We high five. Say, illustrious DM, would they have considered my concertina a weapon?
Yes, they would take that too.
I don't play a jaunty song to lift our spirits, then.
You could sing.
I sing.
Okay. And so at that, Zay and Scoot, you are ushered downstairs. But actually, Lark and Ilka, the two of you are given back your weapons, whatever gear you need. They kind of watch you as you piece through it. Like, there's many guards, and all the people in this room are armed. There's dozens of them. So, I mean, if you want to pull any moves, you can, but just know there's lots of eyes on you. But you can take whatever you want into the pit.
I'll be taking my song sword and my dagger.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I mean, I just assume that you have whatever you want.
I have what I want.
Yeah, your concertina, I mean, your
Well, I'm trying to think if there's...
whatever.
Because it's everybody's weapons. I don't know. No, I'm good.
Okay, and the crystal unicorn was taken from you too, by the way. Speaking of all this stuff, it's kind of gone inert at this point, and it's just kind of sitting there in a pile, sideways under some stuff, sort of looking out, like an inanimate crystal object. And so, actually, the four of you are all taken downstairs, but Zay and Scoot, you're thrown into cages. You notice there's various cells all along this lower level, and some of them have people in them, some of them don't. It's kind of dark. Do you guys want to take a look around? Because you're being pushed through the room once you have your gear.
Yes, I would like to look
get pushed
around.
right into the arena. Okay, roll perception. Excuse me.
Eight.
Crit fail.
Oh,
Get it out of the way.
first one of the night. First
Roll of the night.
That's actually a good thing to get a crit fail on, I would say.
Great.
Of all the things. Yeah, no, the two of you just noticed the smell. Down here, it smells like blood and like kind of rotting stuff. It hasn't been cleaned. The floor down here is sand, and the bottom of the arena is all sand. And so it seems like they don't really like clean that out. It just kind of gets more and more blood or whatever gets soaked into it, and the smell
Like a cat box
is too much.
of death.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do is kind of split the party a little bit and jump back and forth between the two groups as we go. So we'll start with Lark and Ilka as the two of you are ushered into the arena. How do you enter as you go? The crowd is all watching you kind of quietly at this point. The drummer hasn't started playing yet. You don't see who your adversary is.
Oh, this is all showmanship.
Okay.
I am cartwheeling and slinging down the concertina and playing one of my best numbers. I'm improvising Cat Box of Death on the spot.
That's basically what it is. Roll performance.
God, pick a different die. Oh my God, we're gonna die tonight.
What?
You can't re-roll
You can't
it
just
now.
throw it.
What was the first roll?
It was a 2.
Okay.
Plus.
Plus
Happy thoughts.
7.
Okay, so a 9.
No, a 2 plus 5 makes a 7.
I see.
I see.
Look at us.
Okay, so you're not used to doing cartwheels on sand, and you do kind of face plant a couple times, and you kind of scrabble your way back up, and you make it look graceful as one does who's a performer, you know, like you still stand up and smile afterwards, and you start playing your music and everything, but it's a little bit, the audience doesn't know what to think. But they enjoy it seems like, overall.
Good.
There's
Nice.
some hoops and some hollers.
They are entertained.
Yes. Yeah, somewhat. There's still, the judgment is out, you know, the jury is out.
Lark comes out waving his rapier and like pointing to his SWOJ t-shirt and yelling SWOJ and for justice and like moving his head in such a way that the feather on his hat like flicks around.
Okay, when you say SWOJ, there's a boo from the audience.
Oh no.
Oh, get him! There is actually, as you look at the crowd, there is one individual you notice kind of sitting in the back, like sort of like apart from everyone else. There is a humanoid who you recognize as J.B. Nevercaught, the haberdasher who sold you your hat,
Oh, lovely.
who has many alter egos.
I will not I won't let on that I recognize Nevercaught, but I will wave and smile broadly at all of the people who booed.
Okay.
Totally pretending I didn't hear the booze.
Totally. So the crowd is more on Ilka's side right now.
Wait, are we fighting each other?
You are not. So
Oh,
as
God.
as
Okay,
this
good.
kind of wraps up,
Otherwise, we'd be really
the drum
dead.
starts to play. Boom, and boom. It's very slow at this point. Yeah. And from the far side of the room, where the Mind Flayer came from, these two tall, hooded figures, kind of in a sort of a staccato march, kind of make their way to the edge of the arena and then jump down into it and land side by side holding these staves, these staffs with these kind of grabby claws on the end. Like if you think of those handheld grabby claw devices, but as a big staff.
Are they still yellow and red?
It's actually like the shark mouth ones, you know, with the kids. And that's kind of what it looks like. It's got this sort of fishy aesthetic because as they land, they pull back their hoods, and they're these large hulking humanoids with fish heads, and their eyes seem almost glazed over, and they have these weird trinkets hanging from their bodies all over, like kind of religious talismans that you don't recognize. And the drow announcer says, "Give it up for the avatars of Blip Blop Bedoop." And the
Lark
crowd
laughs out loud. You're like,
I just want to know how many Z's and X's are in that name.
That's a good
blip
question.
blop biddy bloop.
Yeah, and some of the crowd are even like, "What?" But as the drow says that, the two fish people are like, "Chuck, chuck, 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 chuck," like they hear your laughter and think it's like some kind of a battle cry, and so they're trying to match it, and they're like stomping their staves on the ground.
Dude, you're fighting Jabberjaw.
We'll freeze right there. Scoot and
Hey.
Zay, you two get thrown in your cells.
Same cell or different cell?
Same cell, the two of you.
Oh.
You're able to get a look around as your eyes adjust to the dark. Scoot, you can see really easily.
Yeah, it's great.
It looks like the other cells have some various occupants. There is one cell with, it looks like a hulking half ogre and a minotaur, kind of like cramped, and there's kind of like cuddling with each other, like sort of looking around like they need a bigger cell. There's that scarred halfling who defeated the skeletal minotaur. She seems to be kind of admiring her stuffed beholder doll, and as you see her playing with it, she takes a knife and slashes the back of it open and pulls out a huge gemstone that was just kind of like hidden inside of it, and kind of inspects it in the light from the arena. You hear the noises of Lark and Ilka outside, and the chanting and the chack 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 and the blip blop bedoop, and and then in the cell next to you, it looks like a kind of like a bunch of rag cloths at first. It's not really clear what's in there. There's like a bunch of like refuse, but it all kind of like rustles and comes to life. And you see that there are at least 12 Kenku in the cell next to you, wearing like shabby clothing and leather armor. You don't recognize any of them at first glance.
Drag.
So what do you do once you're thrown in your cell?
Okay, there's no items or anything like that aside from the torn up beholder.
Roll investigation. Are you like looking around in the sand?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no like stuff in the cell. It's kept clear.
Oh, okay.
But the Kenku are in the cell next door, and you could maybe reach through the bars and try to do something with them.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to. Well, actually, no. Let's talk to the halfling. She sounds badass.
Sure.
What do you think, Zay?
Can you tell me how is the cage set up? So the floor is sand.
The floor is sand. There's sort of the rectangular hallway coming from the staircase down the middle of this room towards the arena entrance. And then on each side of that are like rectangular cells kind of coming off. There's like 8 barred cells. And so you guys are on one side with the Kenku, and then the halfling and the ogre and the minotaur are on the other side in cells that are kind of kept apart.
What do the bars seem to be attached to?
It's not really clear on the bottom because it's sand, and on the top they're sunk into the stone ceiling.
Okay. Have you told me about your inclination to talk to the halfling? Because I think that, hey, Scoot.
What?
The Mind Flayer's in the arena. Now's our chance to go rescue Lyrian.
Okay. Good intention. Do you have an idea of how?
I would like to mold the earth and remove the sand from beneath the cell to climb out.
Holy shit.
You're going to start digging downwards to the bottom of the bars
yeah.
to see where the foundation of the bars is?
Yes.
Okay. So you start doing that. There are no guards down here at this point. They're all upstairs at the main entrance, so nobody's watching you, so you can get away with it. But as you start to dig, the Kenku all start to kind of freak out and go like, and from the back of the crowd, one of them pulls out a pink hat and slips it onto his head and says in Scoot's voice, "Scoot?"
Oh, no.
And it says in your voice, "Zay."
I say, Plinker.
Pinker!
Pinker.
Come on, guys. So for
Been like
D&D initiates,
13
Kenku are these
episodes.
crow people who imitate other creatures' voices. So they don't have the voice of their own, but they mimic everything they've ever heard. And they've met this Kenku before. So how do you react to that?
I say, Pinker, don't worry, I'll dig you out too.
And Pinker nods and says, the Xanathar wants us to fight. But maybe we don't have to. We friends.
Oh, are we
They want us to
Pinker.
fight each other?
Pinker and Zay.
They want us to
We are friends.
fight Pinker?
We can't fight Pinker.
I can't do
Yes.
that.
Pinker be friend of other Kenku. Pinker talk to other Kenku.
Oh,
Yes, please. Let them know that we are all friends.
What do I say?
there's a reason I don't roll characters with high intelligence. Or charisma, or persuasion.
Pinker, how did you get trapped down here?
We volunteered. We volunteered to fight
That's reasonable.
Okay.
to earn status.
Oh, yeah.
And they all nod knowingly.
So, what if? Do you know what happens to the people once they are killed? Do you know where are their bodies taken somewhere? Do you know what happens to the corpses?
Do not know.
Shoot.
But Pinker has this. And he pulls out from under his hat a lockpick. He says, I could get us out.
Do you know where we would go?
No. Find help? Escape? Help the Kenku?
That sounds more interesting than whatever the Xanathar has for us. We should take the temperature of everybody else in the room here, too. I'd like to know what this halfling is thinking. This halfling just was victorious, so
Yeah.
can we talk to her?
She's silently watching you all right now.
Congratulations. Good fight. I saw the end of it.
Oh. Great. I look forward to killing you next.
Okay. We don't have to take her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then
I do want her stuffy, though.
Yeah, can we have that? You don't need that anymore, right?
Earn it. You chums.
Chums, we are friends.
No, like the fish.
So is the molding earth successful at all?
Oh, so you're
in
still
moving
going
the
this whole time?
sand? Yeah.
You're able to dig down about 4 feet, and you see what looks like some sort of a stone like foundation that it's keyed into down below.
Okay.
You're starting to kind of run out of room in your cell as all the sand kind of piles up, because you're kind of shoveling it like into
So
your cell.
it's ineffective.
But it's anchored in stone, so if you want to try to break that or like get
Oh.
under it, you could. You just got to keep digging further.
Let's perhaps go Pinker's route and try to pick the locks.
Yeah, works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, Pinker's kind of shoved aside by the other Kenku for a moment, and they kind of at him, like, and he turns back to you all and says, "Pinker." Oh,
Do we have any gold on us, or would they have taken that as well?
they would have taken it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. It says Pinker wants to help, but the other Kenku wants something in return.
Oh, man.
We do not have an accord. So, what do you have to offer them?
Good question.
Yeah. I've got my do-rag. We'll trade hats.
What does it look like?
I think it looks. I would say just like the art. I think we said it was color of the sea plum sails.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of a little bit longer than usual, plum colored do rag that's hasn't been washed in about 2 months, except for all the times I went underwater.
Okay.
It's got a lot of memories, sentimental value. You
Yeah.
can't really put a price on those things.
Do
Right.
you still have that empty water skin?
Probably.
Pinker says, I can make this work. He takes off his pink hat and says, he says in Kenku, and he points at his hat and says, and he like gestures to them all that they can have the hat, and then says to you, I will wear the do-rag.
Perfect.
Says do-rag in your voice, though. That doesn't, I mean, he didn't have a sample for that before now, so. The do-rag.
Do-rag.
Yeah.
Because that's how I say everything.
You all will share Pinker's hat.
Perfect.
Do they seem
and they seem
inclined?
elated to like have a chance
Oh.
to wear this hat. Like it's like one of their most valued treasures is this hat at this point. It's some kind of obviously great significance to the Kenku. And so, yeah, they seem to be on board with it.
Cool. I just recruited us an army.
And you hear a click, click. You hear click, click as Pinker's door swings open, and the Minotaur and the half ogre seem to kind of be like, "Wait a minute, what's going on over there?" The half ogre says that, but then Pinker click, click gets your door open too, and it swings ajar, and the halfling's just watching you all coolly, calculated, and we'll cut back to Ilka and Lark. Roll for initiative, my friends.
Yeah.
SWOJ, 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 SWOJ. Lark's just chanting on his own.
One.
God damn it. Okay, not so bad.
13.
14.
All right.
Thanks, Dex bonus.
You're welcome.
So
The dex bonus is spoken.
the two fish creatures go first. One of them puts its hands together on these holy relics that seem to be hanging from its neck, and it casts a sort of a spell, and the one next to it shimmers with a glowing light. Kind of a light blue aura covers it, almost like a reflective sort of shield. And then it kind of hunches down, and the one that just cast the spell kind of gives it like a leapfrog, and it launches it up into the air as it kind of flies over the arena and comes right towards Ilka with its pinchy claws and tries to hit you in the face. 15. I believe that hits you.
Yes.
Yeah. You take 6 piercing damage, and you are grappled
Ooh.
as the claws kind of close around your neck.
She got hit by a chain jump.
You still have your hands free, though, and everything, so if you want to like do anything to kind of fight back, you're able to. And next, it's your turn. Or was it Lark with a 14?
I had a 14.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
Lark. Yep.
Do I do anything to fight back now or wait till
Once it's
after
your
Lark?
turn. Yep.
And I'm standing next to Ilka, right?
Right.
Okay. I draw my rapier, my magic rapier, and since the Kenku is engaged, I would like to, with as much flourish as possible, stab it right in the sharky face.
Okay. If they have giant fish eyes, like if you think of like a
I mean, in the giant fish eye.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
like their face is like
Yeah.
half eye. These
Like
creatures
a
are called
doll's eyes. I'm gonna put right in
but
there.
yeah, but like Admiral Akbar.
Oh, like that.
kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not like a shark eye. It's an actual gross fish eye.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
make an attack
That's where
roll.
I'm going. Yeah. Okay. Fucking.
That's my line.
All right. So switching dice at intermission. Still a 14.
That hits.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Great. Whew. Thanks. And 10 points of damage,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna slice with an offhand attack. No, actually, I'm not. I'm gonna dash away behind once I hit him. That's what my plan.
Okay. So it sees you coming, and like it's very aware, and it kind of turns to the side as you come towards it, but you still kind of graze its face with your rapier before jumping away, and it growls at you and goes, "Chok, chok, 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 chok."
Eat it, fish face! And then I like fancy footwork dance away, like
Yeah.
that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's not really many places to hide in this arena. It's just a circle, but you still
I'm
get
just
away
fancy
easily.
footworking away from his. Yeah.
Yeah. And the crowd kind of goes, ooh, ah.
I wave again.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Ilka, you have advantage on escaping the grapple
Oh, sweet.
because of it just got smacked.
Nice. I'd like to try to escape that grapple.
Okay, roll acrobatics.
17.
That works. You're free.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna wriggle out of it and roll away backwards and come up and throw some vicious mockery at this guy and call him a smelly fish face and question his lineage.
Hurtful words.
Yeah.
It fails its wisdom save.
Good.
So it's a d4 plus something damage.
Yeah. Psychic damage. And he has 4 psychic damage and disadvantage on next attack.
It doesn't seem clear that it understands the English that or the common that you're speaking.
I gesticulate about fish.
Oh. Yeah.
So he understands.
Okay. It seems deeply wounded.
Good.
And it sort of clutches its holy talismans like defensively. At that point, the one that's far behind charges forward with its spear towards you, Ilka. It's grabby claw spear. And the 13 hit you. Tie. So it does. So then you take 5 damage as it smacks you again. The second one recollects its emotions and also attacks you as well. So this time it's going to have neither advantage nor disadvantage because it had vicious mockery, but they're also surrounding you.
Great.
And it crit fails.
Good.
So how do you want to parry it?
I'm going to whip out that song sword.
Oh, yeah.
And strike that spear right out of the way, and through the air is going to come the beautiful sound of probably some We Are the Champions.
Okay. Yeah. And the crowd starts to really get into that one. Yeah. Well,
Good.
Close.
It modulates into a clean medley. Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. And the drummer starts to play the rhythm to
Another
it.
one bites the dust.
Yeah.
That's the wrong one. Sorry.
It seems like they're really on your side.
Good.
And that one's disarmed. So, Lark, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm still going for the one that is engaged. Wait, they're both engaged now with Ilka, right? I'm
Right.
going for the one that I almost poked in the eye before.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the same thing.
You're gonna almost poke it in the eye.
Oh my god!
Roll with advantage because it's
yeah?
engaged. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's almost as bad, but not quite. So 15.
That hits.
All right, great. Oh my god, this is the worst.
Did you just roll a d20 for damage?
Oh, I did. And it was even worse. I could have rolled. Okay. That's better than my d20 roll when I actually roll the right die.
Welcome.
Thanks. 11.
11 damage.
And this time I'm doing an offhand attack.
Okay. As well, you mean?
Yep.
Okay. So 11 damage. And then the offhand attack also hits, or?
We'll say yes.
No.
Oh.
It goes wide by quite a bit.
Is distracted by your stomping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about We Are the Champions. Like, oh no, that was the wrong one. And then I got confused.
They do seem very frazzled by all this, like the rhythmic thing that's going on. Like, they're not used to this kind of stuff. Like they come from a very controlled sort of mentality, and so like the music, like they were expecting some sort of a serious fight, but instead it's this like crazy shouting and thumping thing. So we're gonna pivot at this point back to Zay and Scoot. So you're free, sitting in this cell area with this half ogre and minotaur and halfling watching you, and a bunch of kenku that are just kind of hanging out in their cell as Pinker kind of gives you a thumbs up.
I'm a little distracted because I've never seen Scoot's head before.
Oh.
I've been getting a lot of that lately. I say to the half ogre and minotaur, you guys want to go too? You want to get out of here?
They say, we would rather live. But, thanks.
Do any of you know what happens to the bodies that have been defeated?
We don't talk about it.
So, not great things. Okay.
Did you see what they were serving up there?
Oh no!
Oh,
He glares at you.
I'm really glad I didn't try any of that because I was tempted.
the Soylent Green. All right. Well, yeah. Let's leave and then close the door behind us and relock it so that annoying halfling can't follow us.
She's still locked in too.
So, do we try to claim our weapons and join our friends, or do we try to sneak away?
So your stuff's at the top of the stairs, and you could go up that way or out into the middle of the arena. It's up to you. The door, I guess, which way do you go first? Like towards your stuff or just towards the arena?
Is there anybody near our stuff?
You have to go up the stairs to find out.
Okay,
So.
I would creep up that way.
Sure. So there doesn't seem to be any, like the whole crowd, even the guards that were guarding your stuff are like really into the fight right now. And They're not even paying attention to your shit.
Sounds like a good one. Yeah, I would go up there and rearm myself as best I can. My stuff, better stuff, whatever I can find.
Sure.
Pinker, will the Kenku be joining us, or are you going to use this as a chance to escape?
Pinker says, we will fight, but perhaps if we fight, we could put on a good show. Yes?
Absolutely.
That's all we want, to be remembered. Kenku don't live long lives.
I feel like they're going to be serving a lot of chicken upstairs pretty soon.
And as do you go upstairs too to get your stuff, say, or
yes.
hanging out with Pinker? Okay. So as you both go up there, you also, like near the door, kind of right in front of the entryway, you see JB Nevercaught, the human alter ego of Jarlaxle from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looks at the two of you from the corner of his eye and kind of winks, and then kind of hides himself under his giant hat.
All right. Hey, Scoot.
Yeah,
Did you see that he's here?
I did, and I kind of want to see if I can find that pistol and shoot him.
You have it. It's with
You
your
want to
stuff.
expose him?
Yeah.
That would make him jump into action, wouldn't it?
The one round that we have in that pistol.
Yeah.
Wasted.
Do I have that
Use
pistol?
it on him. You do. You have all of your gear.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take that and stash that too.
Okay. You see him kind of like hold his hand to his mouth and kind of whisper something, and then this sort of like, think of like a musical scale bar, like this sort of wispy scale bar goes to both of your ears, and you hear a message. He says, "Hello, friends. I heard you might be down here. We move against the Xanathar tonight. My agents have rigged the lair with smoke powder," which is fantasy gunpowder.
Ooh.
"You should leave before then. There's a secret door in the arena along the south wall. Look for the symbol of a flaming eye."
Oh, I want to go do that right now.
I wink and blow a kiss in his general direction.
And he catches it and puts it in his pocket.
And then I hurry to the arena, gesturing for the Kenku to follow.
Okay. Just like charging right in.
I would like to wait and see if there's an opportune, what I can determine as an opportune time to get in there. I know I got guards' backs facing me, and I'm not attacking the guards. I'm deliberately just grabbing my shit, running into the arena because I can't wait to get started in this.
Okay.
So it's like I'm not going for it. I'm going in there looking like I just can't wait to entertain.
Okay, roll for initiative, the two of you.
Welcome.
17.
19. I have these brand new die.
Things have turned around for SWOJ so far.
We think.
Yeah.
Wait, whose was the 19?
This guy.
You're tanking for once?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll now jump back to Ilka and Lark. You guys have one more round before these guys join you. So we will start with the two fishies. At this point, Lark, you've been really harassing that one with a shield, so it turns towards you and tries to bite you since it was disarmed the last round. So it kind of lunges at you with this giant toothy maw. It's got like a piranha mouth.
Gross.
Does a 7 hit you?
No.
So you duck and weave and
Yeah.
bounce out of the way. The other one, 17 hits you, Ilka?
Yep.
You're going to take 7 damage and get grappled once again by the other speary, clawy appendage, the shark mouth. But they're both kind of looking rattled at this point. Like the crowd has kind of turned against them, and they just seem like introverts. Like they don't want to be in this place. At this point,
I know the feeling.
it's a feeling. Scoot,
Yeah.
you go first, and then this next round. So you're up kind of by the stairs. It would take you one full round of movement to get down to the arena entrance. There's also a bunch of Kenku down there, just kind of milling around.
I want to run down and, so I'll use my full round, and just to get in and to make as big a show of it as possible, I want to take advantage of these boots of striding and springing that I'm still sporting. So I've got some extra jump power. Not so much that I damage myself when I land, but just...
It's sand.
It's sand. Okay, yeah. So it'll be a land and a roll, something to that effect. Just trying to look cool. While I'm doing this, apparently I'm probably carrying my battle axe and a shield. So that's what I'll be taking with me into this. If I could jump over guards to get in there, that would be the right effect.
Okay. There are no guards by the entrance to the... Well, no, actually, there would be one guard, just kind of making sure that nobody goes back into the cages during the fight.
Yeah, I just want something to leap over so somebody else can see it and say, that's really cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks over his head as you crest the guard, and he just kind of goes slack-jawed and drools a little, the one bugbear that's standing there.
While I'm in the air, I'm yelling, for justice! Because I want to get everybody's attention at this. Because it's like the one cool thing I'm probably going to do for a while.
Give yourself some credit, man.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, and Scoot tumbles into the arena, so you're taking a full action to kind of move and get in
Just
there.
getting into the fun.
And where do you want to end up? Like next to anybody?
Yeah, I'm going to end up next to my buddy Lark.
Okay. So Ilka's kind of in front being grappled, and Lark and Scooter are kind of to the side, sort of facing off with the one that's disarmed. Zay,
Ilka's got it.
what's your action?
So now that I've decided to run into the arena, I'm feeling concerned for the welfare of Lyrian.
Yeah.
I have so I picked up all my belongings, so I have the crystal stone again.
Correct.
Can I try and send a message through the crystal stone that the place is going to explode?
The crystal unicorn?
Yeah, because isn't Lyrian like in the basement?
Somewhere. You don't really know. It's kind of in the southeasterly direction based on what the unicorn was telling you earlier.
And the exit that we know of is in the south.
Right. So you're going to kind of like meditate, like just in the prison area?
Oh, I hate to abandon her.
You can run out there and do it too. You can just I just want to know where you want to do this.
Sure, I'll do it in the prison area.
Okay. So you do it, and all the Kenku kind of surround you and gawk. Like they're all totally mystified by this crystal unicorn that you're holding. And you hear a voice in your head. It's Lyrian's musical voice as you kind of commune with this thing. And one of the tears goes out again. So there's 4 tears on the medallion. This musical voice says, Zay, something is happening. I would get somewhere safe quickly.
I'm worried about you.
I'll be all right.
Okay. And then I tuck away the unicorn.
Okay. That's all I needed.
And I
6 seconds or so.
yeah, that's probably my round.
So you'd make your way right to kind of the entrance of the arena, like right next
Okay,
to that
yeah.
guard that's still kind of standing slack-jawed watching Scoot.
Yeah, so with
Okay.
all of the Kenku flanking me.
Yeah, the Kenku. Yeah, and the Kenku are charging with you. Like you're like,
I
come
hope
on,
so.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. They're all kind of bustling into this crowd of 12 Kenku.
Okay.
Can they fly?
Not really. Yeah.
That would have been truly epic to behold.
They pick up the
That's part of their
halfling.
thing is they were cursed to not be able to fly, and there's a lot of backstory to it. Let me tell you.
Why didn't they just take the eagles to the mountain at the start of the movie?
Oh, man. First, the 2 fishies are going to go. So the one tries to bite you, Lark.
Wait, didn't this just happen? Or that was last round?
That was
already?
last round. So
Okay.
we're moving to the next one. A 17 hits you.
Yes.
You're going to take 3 damage
Okay.
as it chomps on your neck.
Ouch.
You've felt worse.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, they're like little tiny teeth. And then the one that's
Piranha bite.
A little fish teeth.
Yeah.
the one that's grappling you, Ilka, actually loses its grip on its chomping staff.
Oh, good.
As you're kind of like trying to get away from it, you kind of disarm it yourself, and it's still kind of attached to your neck, this staff, as it goes wide. And the fish kind of stumbles backwards and just looks around all embarrassed. As everyone converges on the arena, and the announcer, the drow, looks kind of wry and disinterested by all of this, and it says, well, would you look at that? The Kenku crew have entered the arena, as well as the half-orc and the halfling. Let's see who comes out on top. And you hear kind of a rumbling from the Xanathar, but you can't tell what it's saying. So, what do you 2 do? Lark, you go first.
So the fish monster thing that's biting me, I'm gonna stab it right through the head with my rapier. So where's it biting me? My shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big mouth, so it's kind of all
Right
along
here.
your
So I'm
neck
just
and
gonna
shoulders.
like rapier right up through the bottom of its head,
Okay.
or not. That was my plan.
Yeah.
But then I only rolled a 11.
Okay. And actually, an 11 hits it.
Good,
Yeah, straight
because
up.
that was my plan. So then, oh yeah, and okay, so 8, 10, 11, 15 points
Dude.
of damage.
Yeah, you kill it dead.
I'm going to take partial credit for that because I'm near.
Yeah, that was super helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's kind of a gross sort of sushi, like a rotten sushi smell fills the room as the blood kind of covers you on your hand and your arm.
Rotten
Gross.
sushi.
Yeah, you walked that back pretty
Gross.
quick. You almost alienated sushi fans.
Like, well, I mean, yeah, regular sushi's okay. But
It's gross sushi.
Ilka,
Yeah, so I've still got 1 live fishy
Yeah.
over here. I love that they don't have a species name. They're just fishy people.
they're actually
Yeah,
called Kuotoa.
Kuotoa.
But we don't know that.
Maybe you would with an intelligence roll.
Or if I referred to Volo's guide.
Well,
I mean,
I've already said that's not my game, so
cool. In any case, I'm squaring off with this one. I'm going to chill touch up in his business and make him think scary thoughts about being dead. with a whoosh, and then my hand is gonna reach out, and then from it, deathly stuff comes and surrounds his heart.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is it a Constitution save or?
It's he needs a.
So whatever happened to that guy in Temple of Doom
Yeah.
Yep.
who failed it in that case too?
Yeah. The heart. Yeah.
Just a ranged spell attack.
Oh, okay. So make an attack roll then.
Hey, it's a
Oh my
19.
Nice. That hits.
Want to trade
Sweet.
dice?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, neat. Okay, so I assail it with the chill of the grave.
Yeah. What does it
And it takes 1d8 necrotic. It takes 7 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn, and the hand just clings in its heart and makes it think bad, awful, deathy thoughts.
do? Yeah. Okay. So this one, it kind of stumbles backwards away from you as this cold fist like rips out its feelings, and it kind of lets out this whine like a chuck, 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 and starts to kind of run away from this huge crowd that's now like surging towards it from the fighting arena. As this happens, the mind flayer behind it glides away from the room, and it kind of follows the mind flayer out a back door.
The fish person follows the mind flayer.
Yes.
Huh.
So what do you all do now? There seems to be a threat at this moment aside from all the bandits watching you up above. The drums are kind of slowing down as nobody seems to be fighting each other in the arena. They're waiting for someone to like duke it out.
I start pretending that I had something to do with this.
Okay.
And so I start just cheering and screaming and making a big show of it. And I'm really going to start working that south wall of the audience.
Okay. So as the crowd looks on kind of bewildered, like this isn't a fight, what's going on? Pinker kind of marches up to you, Scoot, in his do-rag, looking like real tough. And he kind of takes a fist and winds up really dramatically and like bops you right in like the hip. And like it doesn't even hurt. Like he's obviously like couching the blow.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah.
How do you think Scoot would pick up on that? I know exactly what he's going for.
I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, like he's winking at you really
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
and, like,
Then
he's trying to not.
I'm flopping. I just
Okay.
yeah.
You're playing it up.
Oh yeah. It's
Okay,
just as
the
hard
other
as I can.
Kenku also do the same to the rest of you. So the 12 Kenku take Pinker's cue and start to kind of like grab you, but like really lightly, and like let you kind of throw them around. They're extremely lightweight, so you can kind of like do whatever you want to do with them. But how do you react to this, the rest of you?
I pull out the playwright's dagger and I say, "This is a sword."
Yeah,
And then I just
a
start.
giant sword appears from the hilt of this dagger,
Yeah, I just start
hacking away.
hacking away at those kenku.
Okay. And they seem bewildered at first. They're like, "Oh my god, he's trying to kill us!" But then as you do it faster than they can recognize, like they realize that it's just an illusion, this sword, and they start to go flying and scattering themselves and acting like they're being cut, as if they're
As
like
the blood flows.
as if they're extras in a movie. Yeah. What about the two of you?
The crowd has already watched me rip someone down with insults.
Yes.
So I'm like heavily winking at the nearest Kenku and yelling insults and like, now fall over and pretend it worked. You have feathers on your head. You know what? Look at you with your feathers.
Okay.
Brutal.
Lark also has
Eviscerating.
feathers on his head.
Just one, but
One.
it's beautiful.
What about you, Lark?
I'm going to make an intelligence perception. What do you want me to roll here to decide if I understand what's happening?
I would say just a wisdom roll.
It's not my strength. And I've been rolling low, so come on.
This is your 20.
Come on, big money.
I would say you maybe have advantage because all your friends are playing along too, and it's a pretty
Okay, 17.
Okay.
Thanks, DM.
I think it's reasonable.
Okay, great. Yeah. Then
Like there's a
I'll,
lot of people assisting you with the roll mechanically.
got it.
So
Got it. I will drop I'll sheath my rapier after wiping the fish guts off it.
yeah.
And then kind of fisticuffs it, in like a way that he thinks looks really showy, but it probably looks super fake.
Okay.
But like, oh, here, like that sort of thing.
And it gets a rise from some of the audience. Mostly they're all enjoying Ilka's words. Roll performance, all four of you.
Okay, great.
And Scoot, roll perception or investigation.
Yeah, I wanted to see, am I around anybody? Is there any of my SWOJ crew that I could get the message to that we're looking for some sort of flame symbol in the
Not if
south
you
wall?
beeline to the south wall, but you could
Okay.
kind of make a detour.
Okay. No, I'm probably just head there and hope that the party comes down towards where I'm posted up.
Okay.
Okay, so you want 2 rolls?
Yeah. So
Okay.
first, the performance.
Performance is going to be a solid 5.
Okay, the rest of you roll.
17.
17.
These are choice insults.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
7.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so the crowd is loving what you got spinning, Ilka, and they're cheering at each insult. They're losing their minds. However, you notice that the pillows that the pillows that the Xanathar was weighing down kind of fluff up again as this all goes down, as if it's like hovering once again. And there's sort of a whoosh, and kind of into the room, which no one seems to pick up on, except for everyone down in the arena, because you're like facing it at eye level. However, this continues. So now roll your perception
Perception. Okay.
or investigation.
All of us, or this is Scoot.
Just
Gotcha.
Scoot.
Okay.
Oh.
That'll be an 18.
Yeah. Right kind of at the center of the south wall, you find one specific brick that has a pattern of a flaming eye, sort of a fireball with a little eye symbol on the inside, kind of like an Illuminati symbol.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see. Did I pick up anything? So I picked up all my stuff, we said?
yes.
When I ran in there?
Yes.
Okay. I would deliberately throw a hand axe down on the ground by that spot as a marker for everybody else.
Okay.
And then try to up my performance somehow. Did I sense that the Xanathar was not buying this?
Well, all you know is that he's not sitting anymore. So
Okay.
yeah, whatever that means to you.
Okay. All right. I can't. If I felt like I was worried that they weren't buying the performance, I would have Plinker actually shiv me with something.
You're like, shiv me.
Like, yeah, right in the kidneys. Give me a good one. I can take it.
He's like, Scoot.
Or you know what? I take a nice wide stance with my legs. Go ahead, whatever you got. Bring it. Oh no. Callback
All right,
episode.
does a 16 hit you?
Yeah, it glances off my shield and hits me in my junk.
Yeah, you take 1 junk damage. Scoot.
It was 4 last time.
And you notice that as this happens, the pillows once again, as if the Xanathar suddenly believes what's going on.
He's having a chuckle.
Yeah. It's mildly amused.
So as Zay is moving between the Kenku, I'm going to kind of try to subtly mention that they should like keep an eye open and follow me when the time comes.
Okay.
Kind of spread the message and try to get closer to Lark and Ilka too, to say we know a way out and just kind of emphasize that it's on the south.
You can do that. Like, we can abstract that as this is going on. So you relay the message to these two that there's a secret door somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm going to pick up a Kenku and kind of throw it in that general direction.
Yeah. And as you like make your way towards each other, like anytime you touch a Kenku, like they send themselves flying away and kind of tumble and acrobatically flop around.
That'd be fun.
A couple of them are faking dead at this point, like the ones that you've chopped. But they start crawling that direction because you're kind of indicating that they do. Like,
The ones who are supposed to be dead.
yeah. Or like mostly dead. So
only
it's starting to get a little
dead.
bit fishy again. Like, this fight's obviously winding down to the audience. so-
I yell, is that the best you can do? Give me a Kenku with some real legs.
And then Pinker kicks you in the nuts, I guess.
No,
'cause
I'm
are
trying to
you
get the other ones down there. God damn it.
He misses, or you deflect it somehow.
All
Unless
right.
you want to let him.
Yeah, I'll probably let him.
Okay. And you take 3 damage. You're seriously
3 junk
bruised.
damage.
Yep.
My berries. 3. I can't math.
So
I'm
I'm
good.
hoping that we can have the Kenku sort of corner us in the south end,
Okay.
so that we can try to investigate what's going on with that brick and then maybe open it and then get them to follow us through.
Okay. So as that happens, they kind of start to like swarm you all, like their last ditch effort to take you down. They're like piling up on you, World War Z style, and they kind of like provide a little cover for you even from the audience as you kind of investigate this stone wall. And you manage to kind of trace a glyph on the wall, like you just practice different arcane symbols that you know from being a druid. And all of a sudden, the bricks kind of peel away, Rubik's Cube style, and this narrow 5-foot door opens up. At that, the Xanathar appears and rises up really rapidly out of its seat and says, "What is this? Stop them!" And like the drums stop. Everything above you stops as everyone kind of everyone above you grabs their weapons and starts to try to figure out what's really going on.
Beyond the Kenku, maybe sort of far enough so that I don't injure any of them, I'm going to cast a moonbeam.
Okay.
And then try to flee as a distraction and try
Just like
to
into the
arena.
The arena, okay.
Yeah, and then try to flee into the space.
Sure. And the crowd goes, whoa! And then you turn to book it into the hallway, and you're met by a figure that's just standing there in front of you, which you recognize as Thail, the tiefling that brought you into the Xanathar's lair. He's holding himself as if he's mortally injured, like he's grasping himself where the death ray from the Xanathar hit him earlier in episode 16. And then from his pocket, his hand sort of jerks out, almost as if he's being controlled like puppet-like, and he presses into your hand a small red gemstone. And then he says to you in sort of a strained voice, he says, "He's making me do this. I'm sorry." And then he leans over your shoulder and fires a bolt of flame into the chandelier that kind of hangs over the center of this room, of the arena. And from this chandelier, it acts like a conduit and launches fire into 6 different corners of the arena, which seem to ignite support pillars around the arena. And this explosion starts to ripple around the ceiling of the arena as you go. How do you all react to that?
Do we still have a path through the secret?
You do. There's a tunnel going straight ahead into darkness.
I would post up right outside the entrance, shield up. I don't know if you want to call it dodge or help or whatever, just getting ready to take any shot that comes in while people file through.
Yeah, it actually seems more dangerous out here than it was previously. So now I'm even more excited about jumping in through this hole in the wall.
You all have like a second to react.
That's
to
what
this,
I'm doing. I'm jumping in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a cantrip minor illusion behind me that looks like Scoot running into the center.
You're like into the moonfire?
Yep.
Okay. Great.
And then dart into the hole.
And there's screams and roaring and booming all above you as this explosion kind of ripples outwards, even beyond the arena. You can't really tell how far out it goes. And the ceiling starts to shake and collapse, and all of a sudden rocks within this tunnel even start to fall down upon you. And all of you black out under the weight of this explosion as rocks start to hit you. So, time passes, and the 4 of you wake up at the same time.
6:30.
6:30 p.m. Waterdeep time.
Oh.
So it's 1 hour.
No, it's
forward or
more like
backward?
it might be like 6:30 actually.
Waterdeep ahead.
Yeah.
Waterdeep ahead, yeah. Gloomhaven behind.
Neverwinter behind. Yeah,
You all kind of blink awake at the same time and see in front of you like a shimmering shield that suddenly like dissipates as you wake up. You're surrounded by rubble. You're not in a tunnel anymore. It seems like the whole superstructure of this lair has crumbled to pieces. And like the cobblestones and arches that were holding up these tunnels are kind of in wreckage around you, but there is like a vague path out through this wreckage into some dimly lit area beyond you. Zay, you notice that your unicorn pendant is like in your hand, and all of the lights have gone out. All 4 at this point have dimmed out.
She told me she was going to be safe.
Also, Thail is laying next to you, dead.
What?
He's been somewhat pummeled by rubble. He was not protected by the same shield that the 4 of you were.
It's a good thing you called Romalia. I'm just assuming.
So, moment of silence for Thail. Thail, an indeterminate last name.
Do not take my hat off.
I am not going to be the one who tells Squidly.
I check him for loot.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay. I'll totally. I'll go look at.
Oh, he has the character sheet.
I got your character sheet.
Let's see.
Oh no!
So you pull him out from the rubble. He's got.
Wait! I'm also going. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, he's so helpful.
Are you gonna like leave his corpse here, or are you like what's your plan?
Both.
So you also see. Okay, rewind a little bit. Zay, as you're waking up, you see Scoot rifling through Thail's belongings.
I'm trying to find proper ID so I can notify next of kin.
And ahead of you,
we know his next of kin.
Ahead of you, the crystal unicorn is walking towards the light through this wreckage.
Oh no!
But it's sort of shaky and stumbling, and it kind of like goes down on one knee and then both knees, and then kind of grinds to a halt as it faces forward. And you hear all 4 of you hear a voice in your heads for a moment. that you recognize from your Zyquil-induced vision in episode 3 as the musical voice of the unicorn.
The magic door.
Yes. It says, "Find me. I can get us out of here."
She's in the southwest somewhere.
All right.
I literally, until this moment, I had totally forgotten that we had heard that unicorn voice in episode 3, and that was where we got the crystal unicorn. No, absolutely no memory of that. Was I supposed to connect that before?
I don't know
I
if you
did.
would.
You
Zay
did?
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I'm a little embarrassed.
It's kind of been out of your mind.
sort of a. That's
was
an
a
obvious. That was a
long
long
time
time
ago.
ago.
It comes
Okay.
back to Lark's object permanence thing.
Yeah, right.
Is-
When I hear the unicorn voice, I go, "Oh, I get it now."
Whatever your attention span is, mine's half.
On Thail's body, unless somebody's going to stop you, you find some obviously magic boots and an obviously magic ring. Not really clear what they do.
All right.
You also find a potion of greater restoration.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
our money.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's ours.
Yeah.
By rights.
By
we paid
rights.
for that.
And
Oh,
this
this.
through the character sheet here.
He's digging through the character sheet, and I actually feel a little dirty right now.
Yeah, your ill-gotten gains. I'll just give you the whole list.
No thanks. I'll just.
There you go.
Sweet.
I will mention that.
I just take his body.
that. Our,
Do you? Are like his body is
Could-
there? You could take
I'll
it
take
with
it.
you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Throw it over your shoulder
Yeah.
or put it in the bag of holding.
I was gonna say, yeah. Would it fit in the bag of holding?
It would, yeah, tightly.
I'm going to reach over Scoot's shoulders, lock eyes with him, take the ring, do not break eye contact, and go back to what I was doing.
That's not nice because, see, he's got boots. I don't need any more boots. I don't have any rings. You guys have all the rings.
Classic D&D experience.
Yeah, this. Yeah, this.
That's
And
why
this-
I was thinking we should bring the body.
This is where the group breaks up.
This is what does it.
A loot fight. Oh, yeah. I'll just grab the body. I'll just take him and go for a proper burial / strip search.
Bag of holding or no?
Ilka rolled need.
Rolled need. I guess, yeah. May as well beg of holding it.
You're going to shove the body in the bag of holding?
No one is stopping me.
I think we should.
Okay, there it goes. It's in.
Okay.
he was
We
tiny.
have to return him to Squidly.
What now?
We have to follow the unicorn.
From further ahead, you hear a faint.
So we're
You
gonna.
hear a faint.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
Potentially, something like it.
That
Matthias
was-
made that sound. In
That's
a
a
prior
sound effect I
episode.
use a couple. I've used. Yeah. Don't think about it too hard.
That-
Okay.
Was that We Are the Champions?
Yeah.
Wow, we're off the rails.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move in the direction that the Crystal Lyrian is leading us and try to mold the earth to make way through
Yeah,
the tunnel.
That
as
makes
I
it easier
can.
for everyone else, and you're able to kind of like support the crumbling rubble of this tunnel as you make your way forward.
Best cantrip.
Yeah. So you're able to kind of mold the sand and the earth, and where the three of you fall.
And
is there-
can I close? I want to close the tunnel behind us as we go as well.
Oh, sure. Okay. You don't see any Kenku bodies either, by the way. Like they're all
Oh.
got crushed or something. It's not really clear.
No, they all flew to safety
Yeah, they live on a farm with all the other
after they
Kenku.
had their
Yeah,
best
right.
performance of their lives.
Happily on a farm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
How are we for light? Is it dark in here?
There's a faint purple light coming from the end of this rubble tunnel that you're making.
Is it helping to guide us?
Well, it's the only light. So
It's not
yes.
ominous or anything.
Okay.
And one final question. Just with a very quick look, do I see a purple do-rag anywhere?
No.
All right, fine.
Gone.
It's gone.
Change the fan art.
Gotta get more fan art.
I'm out of sympathy for Scoot's plight. I'm going to send my dancing lights kind of purpley to go sit on top of his head.
I don't want
Like in a
this.
crown sort of thing.
This is
You can't help it.
This is non-consensual dancing lights.
It's too bad. You are well lit. Everyone sees Scoot.
We should we should move.
I can't believe Thail's dead. We didn't even get to hear his amazing backstory.
The humming noise gets louder.
I can
down
tell
the
you about it
tunnel.
later.
Yes,
I got his
the
character sheet.
Oh God.
I refuse to look at.
You hear a chuck, 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 chuck coming from beyond.
Is that the
was
fish?
that
Yeah, was
shark
that the
face?
noise of the shark face? I think it was.
I thought we
Uh-oh.
killed them both.
Wait, no. One left with the vine flare, which means we're
Oh,
probably getting closer
no.
to the
You hear
chamber.
several other voices also going chuck, 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 chuck,
Oh,
chuck.
is it Kenku's?
No,
can-
Kenku go.
But they repeat noises that they hear.
True.
Oh, no, it's the shark.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
definitely the shark face.
Shark people.
That aren't shark faces at all.
Yeah, shark
The
people.
fishy fish.
Now I'm happy I've got Thail's body.
The
Oh, no.
Armadillo.
What do you do?
I slow down so that with my digging so that we can listen and formulate a plan. So just so you know, I've seen this chamber before in my dreams, which obviously means I know everything about it.
The rubbly chamber that we're buried in?
No, the one I think we're about to come upon.
Oh.
So from what I can remember, in the center there is Lyrian, and she is being used to power some alchemical reaction with building monsters on the outside, which might be where the fish people came from. And the mind flayer seems to be in charge of it all. And I believe it's a circular cavern. Perhaps I will defer to the description from the DM. What do I remember?
Sounds about right.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay, great.
Great.
Yeah, that sounds like you nailed it, Zay. Sounds like we have
You
all the
sound
details
like
we
you-
need.
Do you
sound like
pick
you
up
know.
the unicorn's like still like ahead of you? Do you pick it up as you go? And like, or one of you?
Yeah, I mean, if she fell to her knees, I would definitely pick her up.
Okay, so Zay
yeah.
has it. Okay. So as you approach this open room, you see what looks like it's a wide rectangular chamber with a big open door on the far end, and there's this sort of a shrine to a strange octopusy god. It looks like a sort of an octopus with 10 tentacles, and it's kind of like cobbled together by garbage and bones and hair and feathers and other weird things. And you see this whole room is kind of like extremely damaged by the explosion. Like big chunks of the ceiling have collapsed, and there's kind of big piles of rubble all around. But there are several of these Kuotoa, the fish people, kind of standing around this shrine and praying or doing some sort of a salutation kind of thing. And it seems like there's a trail of something that was dragged along this room towards the big door at the far end. Something wide has obviously, there's a path that's been cleared through the rubble.
How wide?
Oh, about 15 feet.
Like the width of a beholder, roughly, or
Yes.
okay, yeah,
Why would it be dragged? Doesn't the thing float?
yeah. But if there was a giant explosion out in the arena,
He may have been injured or killed.
So you see all of this. The fish people don't see you at this point.
Why would they want to rescue him? Maybe they want to eat him.
Is the mind flayer making them?
oh wait, so are we? So we can see this because we've
Yes.
peeked up through the.
You're kind of
rubble.
like peeking around the rubble right now, and like
Okay.
an opening in the rubble, the four of you.
And do we see anything other than the trench from the dragged, injured/dead beholder?
No, but you just it's a pretty barren room. Aside from that, there's kind of like blood stains all around. It's this kind of creepy dark purple aesthetic. You do smell the faint smell of Zyquil as you get closer to this room, which you recognize from your dream 15 episodes ago. Sort of a cherry smell. It's very incongruous with everything else.
How many Kuotoa?
6. They don't seem armed, and they seem like not armored or anything, and they're kind of scrawnier than the two that were attacking you. Like they're more like flunky looking, you know, kind of peons.
Can any of you make
Flunky.
them think that their god is talking to them?
Yeah.
No.
Would that be useful?
Are any of you stealthing right now, BTW?
No.
No. Okay, the Kuotoa see you as you make your way into the room. And
well, we stopped to be.
What did you do,
and
Ray?
one of them points
wary.
at the four of you and goes, "Chuck, chuck, 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 chuck." And the 6 Kuotoa like part and like flee to the corners of the room and kind of cower away from you as if
Aw.
terrified of you. Especially Ilka at this point. Like they fear you as if you are almost gods.
I'm very frightening.
So
Do you still want me to make them think their god is talking to them?
Probably not. No.
I still have the Deep Shashalis pendant. Any chance I could hold that up and would they recognize that symbol?
only one way to find out.
All right. I just sort of I without taking it off, I just sort of grab my necklace, I hold it up, I just sort of
So you kind of enter the room to
Turn,
be really
look.
visible.
well, they see us, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess you're pretty much at the end, at the barrier at this point. So
Yeah. So.
Are
you know.
your,
Scoot, show him your tattoo.
are your upper arms
Oh
visible?
yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I show him the dolphin.
and they kind of hiss and whine and shrink further into the corners as if they revile this dolphin symbol that you're showing them.
Well, I've learned something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Make your tattoo look really threatening.
It does. You don't even have to like think about it. It's already like scowling at them. Your little dolphin,
Like the
Lisa Frank tattoo on your shoulder.
Yeah.
the rainbow background is just turned blood red.
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
thunderstorm, with raining blood.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
And now has like an anime eyebrow thing going on.
Oh, it always does.
Like that hashtag symbol above its eyes. So,
Yeah.
And Zay steps in and says, "Hello, new friends."
They are ignoring you. They are like trying to have nothing to do with you and muttering to themselves. They all seem vaguely insane. Like none of them are even like lucid. They're just kind of like these glassy fish eyes and like shrinking away from you.
All right, and
Okay.
they're all just staying away.
Yep.
All right, so I will confidently stride closer to the other end of the room towards the. You said the big open with the doors open on the other end? You said there's a big
Yes.
opening? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a double door that's swung wide open
All right.
with this path cleared through it.
Well, do I see anything down in it?
You see
And I should say,
roll perception.
yeah, I was going to say, do I perceive anything
Yeah.
going on down there from where I'm at? I love this die. That's a 21.
You see a tunnel that curves slightly to the left.
Okay. I would, for a show of the weak shark folk that are in here,
Yeah.
I would Kuakoa. Is that their name? Close.
Kuotoa.
Kuatoa. I want to present confidence and just show that me and this dolphin will F you up without using any words and just sort of make my way towards there. But once I get towards where I'm starting to creep around the door, now I'm going to try the sneak. I don't want to make it super. I want to get this, just badass as far as I can, and then real Scoot comes out.
Makes sense. What about the rest of you? Do you follow Scoot or hang behind?
I follow Scoot.
I'll also follow Scoot. If I'm close enough, does the hallway appear to be like beholder shaped, or is it a regular hallway?
It's wide enough to fit a beholder and then some. Yeah, it's like 20
But
feet
it's
wide.
not built for the beholder.
It looks like it is. Like it was made that
Oh.
wide on purpose.
Okay.
But it has a ground, so it's not like the tube you're in before the secret
Okay.
tunnel. So other beings use it too.
Do we notice anything interesting about the shrine, about the room? I'm looking around.
Yeah, what's up with the decapus?
It seems like it matches the talismans that the fish people have around them. It seems like their own private little, I guess, roll knowledge, arcana. Roll arcana.
And okay, after that's done.
13.
13. You've heard tales of the Kuotoa. They're often mocked in like folk songs because they're these creatures that are so insane that they invent their own gods. And so they come up with silly names for them, names that seem silly to common folk, and they just kind of make shit up all the time. And this is probably one such example. And it kind of looks like a beholder or some
Hey.
kind of octopus thing.
Hey, guys. The shark people are batshit insane. I guarantee it.
They look that way.
So, kind of a sea thing going on here. With my sailor background, can I roll a religion or
Please.
something like that?
Yeah.
You want religion or whatever you think this would cover? Because I just want to know if
Religion, since you're kind of a religious guy.
have I seen or heard of these things at all?
Yeah, go for it.
And Lark is taking selfies. That is with a -1. That's
brand.
12.
12. You know of a myth where the Kuotoa were once disciples of the different sea gods, such as Deep Seychelles, but they were all, like the entire species was enslaved by mind flayers thousands of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And that's where they lost their sanity, and it's all been downhill for them since then.
Yep, I get that. So yeah, I would whisper that to the companions here as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a really sad story.
I think we should move on.
They and the Kenku should be friends.
They're all dead.
Nothing seems it will come in this room. We should move on.
I already followed Scoot.
Okay.
Right.
So going down the hallway.
And
you,
sneaky now.
It's very sneaky.
So Zay will cast Pass Without a Trace.
Ah, okay. So you all have +10 to your stealth checks.
Cool.
So roll stealth real quick. I think you already did, Scoot.
I have not.
Okay.
We can say I did, and then I rolled a 20.
Crit fail.
Okay.
I'm like, guys, I cast pass without a trace.
You're like, don't worry, everyone.
We're gonna be real sneaky.
Okay.
Damn it.
So we'll say that takes you to this first room that you encounter around the corner. This hallway extends about 70 feet. The three of you, I assume, unless you rolled like really pathetically low.
No, I got
25.
31 with the pass without a trace.
With the
bonus.
pass, I got a 30.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you all are silent and invisible to the naked eye, pretty much.
And say
Like
striding down
like,
the hall.
You're like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predatoring your way down, whereas Zay is confidently making her way down the middle, and you walk chin up into a room that is barren aside from a raised pedestal, and on this pedestal is a throne, and this throne is soaked in blood. And on the throne is a figure that's manacled down and kind of slumped over. Doesn't seem to react to you when you arrive. Also covered in blood. It's a gnome wearing jester's clothes, floppy jester outfit.
What?
No, not Shutterfly.
Flutter-
No, what was his name?
Flutterfoot.
You recognize the body
Shutterfly.
as that of Flutterfoot Zipswiggle.
Oh yeah, Flutterfoot.
I can't believe you
No.
didn't remember that name.
Flutterfoot,
Zips.
not Flutterfoot, Zipswiggle.
Is there anything else?
Zay gasps.
No, that's literally it.
Loudly.
As you go into there's a door on the far side that curves to the right this time, so it's sort of like an S pattern as
All
these
right.
tunnels link along.
I will head up that way towards the tunnel and sort of do a sentry thing while everybody else
Okay.
Is
handles.
Flutterfoot alive?
As you go up to his body, you see that there is a huge hole in the back of his head, and his head cavity has actually been emptied by something
Gross.
from behind.
Do we put him in the bag of holding?
Is there still space?
Do you search his pockets?
His whole family's dead. He said so.
That's a good point.
So no one wants his stuff then.
Yeah.
No one's going to come for it.
Does Terry need the body of a small jester?
With no brain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he needs a
probably
brain,
not.
doesn't he?
Yeah, never
Okay.
mind.
I'm Garden Sentry. I'd have nothing to do with this.
Chaotic neutral. Okay, so Scoot, you're by the far hallway.
Yeah, I'm just trying to peek around corners, hopefully still rocking my 30 and just keeping an eye out.
Sure. You hear well, actually, you more than hear, you feel this sort of like telepathic shiver run down your spine as this kind of like pulse emanates from that direction, and it almost like, I don't know, you almost get dizzy and nauseous for a second before you shake it off. This kind of like a cold, like just like pulse goes through your head.
And I check to see if anybody else seems like they're shaking anything off.
Nope. If
Nope.
you guys are all by Zipswiggle, then you're all okay.
Okay. And I guess can I do like a stage whisper over, asking anybody else if they felt that?
Yeah, you
Just-
got a 30 in stealth. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Nobody will know.
Yeah. I write a big neon sign and say, "Hey, did anybody else just get a chill and a weird like dizzy?" And I hold it up so that
And
they
nobody
can
can see it because you're so stealthy.
Ah, damn it! I
No,
walk
I mean-
over and I ask them.
Okay.
I got a chill when I saw Flutterfoot dead here.
That's a different chill.
Oh.
I'm reasonably sure. You got that chill over there. I got this
Yeah.
one over here. So, and I am the most sensitive emotionally to
That's
things
true.
like this.
These chills, are they
Yes, they
multiplying?
are. Yeah,
God.
they're.
You beat me to it.
I don't know, but I'm definitely losing control.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Okay. The four of you all hear a faint, like a whinny, come from that direction, that hallway that you're standing by, Scoot.
Guys, I think it's Terry.
Oh, Terry's here.
Terry's here. How did Terry get down here?
I heard a horse whinny.
Yeah.
I go, Terry.
Is he being sneaky?
Is it a unicorn Winnie or
You hear no response.
Okay, so did everybody hear that?
It's like a telepathic
Yes.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
And
felt. Go ahead.
No, it didn't give me a chill though.
Oh, I just felt something over there. So
Okay.
heads, it was not nice.
Zay, if you'd like to compose yourself at this point and roll with advantage on your stealth check, since you've had some time and everyone else around you is being like the night.
Also, I forgot I was lucky.
Oh, you're lucky, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Stealth. 16.
Okay.
No, 26.
26.
Okay. So,
Barely made it.
yeah. you got the hint from everyone else in the room.
Stop
what was
kicking
happening.
the bucket down the hallway.
Yeah. So, what do you all do in response to that?
Let's head towards Terry.
Or the unicorn.
Or the
Oh, good point.
And the unicorn?
And yes,
Are we leaving Flutterfoot down here? I
I
guess we
think
can't
we
do
have
anything.
to.
cannot help him.
Okay. All right, let's go.
It looks like a pretty serious injury.
His brain has been sucked out the back of his skull.
I have a
Yeah.
+1
There's
in
no
medicine. I
Band-Aids
might be
for
able to
that.
patch this up. Okay, no, let's not do that.
Yeah,
We're making the DM testy.
I'm following Zay. Were you heading down there, Zay? Who's heading
Sure.
towards the horse?
Here I
horse
go.
I'll-
noises?
I'll go.
Okay, so the four of you
I'll roll forward.
Okay, I follow Scoot.
follow the path further, and you come upon what looks like a circular room, although some of the walls have been caved in by this explosion from before. So there's some rubble kind of around, but sort of on a direct path in front of you, extending about 80 feet, is this obsidian-tiled room with a bright green pool at the far end, like a 30-foot wide green sort of sludge. There's also, it looks like the wreckage of some kind of a silvery dome on the ground next to this pool. It's all very dark, but from this wreckage of this dome, you see a faint silvery light emanating outwards. However, in between this little dome with the silvery light and you are two figures. There is the body of the Xanathar laying on the ground sideways and kind of twitching and moving slightly, almost as if it's like having like sleep tremor kind of things.
It's got restless tentacle.
Yeah. And then a mind flayer, the mind flayer from earlier, who sort of has a hand held out towards the Xanathar's body. And the Xanathar seems to be kind of trying to resist a little bit, but its eyes are all closed. And the mind flayer, its eyes are sort of veiled and dark, but then they open wide, these like bright white pupilless eyes. And another pulse of that energy fills the room telepathically, and all of you feel this chill go down your spine. And the Xanathar's body goes limp once again, as if it's stunned or something. How do you react to this?
Scoot, I felt a chill now.
Mine multiplied.
Oh.
All right.
Can we see? But we don't see a unicorn or anything.
No. However, Zay, the crystal
I'm
unicorn,
holding it,
yeah,
yeah.
it is still like kicking just a little bit. It actually seems to be gaining strength as you get into this room and move down this hallway. And it is indicating with its horn towards that silvery light in the dome. At that same time, the mind flayer, with its other hand, the one that's not pointed towards the Xanathar, kind of curls it up in a fist, and from the spawning pool, the green pool, this sort of tentacular horror crawls out. It looks like an intellect devourer, like the things with leonine legs, but instead it has tentacles, and it has 8 of them, and it kind of slops its way out of the green goo and lands next to the mind flayer, and it kind of like orients itself towards the Xanathar's body, and both of them start to shudder with energy.
What do I remember about intellect devourers? Like, how powerful are they?
You don't have like a power level reading for them. I think they're challenge rating 1 or 2. But they can take over horses and people
And
And cats,
and cats.
based on our experience.
Forgot about that one.
This intellect devourer seems different. Like it's got like kind of like a burnt leathery bacon colored skin, and these like tentacles instead of leonine legs, and it's bigger too. It's almost like not quite the big size of a grell, but pretty big.
Super gross.
It's kind of scaly and spiny.
And we're all stealth, so they can't see us.
They don't seem to be reacting to you. Yeah,
And how scared should I be of a mind flayer? Pretty frightened,
you
right?
tell me.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to stop the brainy tentacle thing from getting inside the beholder.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure.
What?
Whispering that, I guess, to them very quietly.
What about
Or-
do we do anything with the mind flayer? I mean,
We should stop him too.
okay.
But if he controls a beholder, it's bad times for everybody.
Okay.
As you speak, the intellect devourer starts to fade out of existence. It seems to kind of turn transparent,
What?
It's too late.
and the Xanathar's body is shaking harder.
We should do something now.
I'm going to throw Shatter.
Okay, what's the roll? Did they make a save? Constitution
Yeah.
save?
I'm going to aim my Shatter at the... are they within 10 feet of each other, the Mind Flayer?
All three
and
are,
the-
yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'm going to aim it in a way that it hopefully won't attack the beholder. This
I
is
don't
going to
know what
work
you
great,
guys-
Lark. I saw that look.
What die do you? Is that a D?
Which one doesn't
Which yeah.
F me over every
Do
single
you make the roll or
time?
do I for this one?
Oh, I need it to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Give Matthias your dice.
DC 14? 13?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm only level 4.
We have to stop this.
This podcast?
I'm going to tell you right now, they both rolled higher than a 15. So it seems like as you cast that shatter spell, like there's this sort of a purple glowing light that kind of illuminates around the head of the Mind Flayer and the brain of the Intellect Devourer, and it seems like they're sort of resisting this mental attack that you're performing on them. I mean, at that same moment, there's a sound, and the Intellect Devourer vanishes, and the Xanathar's body starts to kind of limply hover once again, and with its eyes all closed, next to the Mind Flayer. And the Mind Flayer turns towards the 4 of you.
I'm going to mention I had a 31 in stealth, and then I
30.
stepped away from Ilka as soon as she started casting Shatter.
Okay. Roll for initiative. everyone.
No! Oh, no!
It's been nice knowing everyone.
Every die sucks.
What'd you get?
15. Not too bad.
9.
Can you crit fail an initiative?
11.
3.
Lark, you're up first.
Okay. So I don't. It's not clear to me. So the message that Zay got about us needing to head towards the shiny dome or whatever, that's something that you received telepathically, or was that something that we're seeing the unicorn point to or whatever? How do I know about where I need to go?
The unicorn is visibly pointing toward.
Yeah, like Zay's holding it, and you could see that it is like somewhat alert still and pointing towards that silvery light.
Okay, I'm going to move stealthily towards the shining dome where I see the unicorn pointing.
Okay. So you make your way about halfway there along the edge, picking through the rubble, kind of crawling over it nimbly.
Great.
Okay. Next is the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer is going to take a step back, sort of standing near the unicorn, and just close its eyes. And at that, the Xanathar's body flares to life, like energized. And it almost seems like the Mind Flayer is kind of slack a little bit, as if it's assuming control of the Xanathar.
You said he stepped closer to the unicorn?
Yes, so the Mind Flayer is standing near the unicorn, like 10 feet away.
Did we see the unicorn before?
I think this is the first
You did
time
not. I'm implying that. I kind of gave that away, but that's what the silvery light is.
Okay.
Maybe Lark got close enough that he saw it in the rubble.
Guessed it.
And,
That is what
yeah,
probably
you got
would
perspective
happen,
crawling
yes.
on the rubble.
Yeah.
It's definitely what happened.
Retcon.
It's over here.
Yeah.
With my -1 investigation, I have deduced there's a unicorn over there.
Nice.
Actually, as you go, you see the unicorn kind of poke its head out and crawl. So you all are able to see it.
Okay.
So we're killing the unicorn.
You see it, the upper torso of a unicorn kind of crawling out of the rubble, and it looks like desiccated almost, like it's been sort of drained of energy and life. It's very pale. It's not really glowing very much. Just a faint silvery trickle is coming off its body. It looks like it's malnourished.
I'll see if I have any rations left.
Yeah.
I can make good berries.
Unicorn rations.
Unicorn
Yeah,
rations.
yeah. And then the body of the Xanathar opens its central eye to point right at you, Ilka, since you cast the spell. So that causes a cone of anti-magic to appear
No. I don't like that.
all around you and anybody near you. So if you guys are near Ilka, that means the Pass Without Trace is canceled at this point.
If I'm not near Ilka, is the pass without
I think
trace
it's still
canceled?
canceled because Zay was casting it.
Okay, I still have a 21 though.
Okay.
I still have a 20.
What do you guys have?
Don't think 16?
16? Okay.
It was a long time ago.
It's okay. We can move on. Well,
Yep.
I think it knows you're there anyways,
Yeah.
so your stealth is done. That is that round. Next is Scoot.
How far away is the Mind Flayer?
Oh, it's about 80 feet away.
Mother.
It stepped back.
Such a. How? Okay.
It has long legs. It has
yeah,
really
I
long
guess.
Yes, very slender legs.
Okay. I guess I need to get closer to that guy. So I'm going to, you know what? Full movement. Trying to get up there towards the Mind Flayer. There's nothing else around, right? It's just this stuff in the room. Mind
Yeah.
Flayer, Beholder.
You notice,
pool.
kind of from like various side passages, some of those Kuo-toa have entered the room too, but they're just watching and kind of hanging back, like really scared. But they're kind of like set dressing for the room, basically. Like they're hanging around the sides, watching and not knowing what to do because they don't really have minds of their own.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, do I have any indication if they have seen me yet?
You do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get as close as I can, but I want to go in a direction so I'm not going to be just like a line of fire.
Okay,
sort
so
of
like
thing.
kind of like the opposite side from Lark as you both approach?
Yes, that would
Okay.
be ideal. That's what I would
Just like
like to do.
stealthing still?
As stealthy as I can be, as far as I can get.
Okay, so you both make it about halfway to the Xanathar's body. Next is Ilka.
It's
Cool.
Just
So
quick point
by an anti-magic, does that mean I cannot cast magic?
Correct.
Like
Like you
magic
try
was
to,
revealed.
and there's just no magic where you are.
And I'm 80 feet away?
Yes, and this bloodshot eye is bearing down upon you, this like 2-foot wide eyeball, central eyeball of the Xanathar.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah,
How are the other tentacles going?
they're all kind of limp still.
Okay.
Like it hasn't really assumed control of any of them yet.
Gotcha.
I'm a caster.
You can try to move out of it.
Oh, how close am I to the door that was behind me?
I mean, you're kind of standing at the entryway still, so you could go back around the corner, or like go behind rubble, or
Cool.
there's not a lot of cover in the room aside from the piles of rubble.
I'm gonna back down the hallway as quickly as I can, and
Okay.
until I can cast magic again.
Okay, so you get out of the range of the magic. It takes up your move action, so you can
Yep.
still do an action. So what would you like to do?
Well, now I'm 100 feet away. I have nothing that can do a range like that, and still damage anything.
Can you buff someone else?
Sure.
You hear a soft as your falcon friend lands on your shoulder from somewhere indeterminate.
The
is it
nether.
still invisible?
No, it's not invisible anymore,
No, the
Okay.
dust
Aw.
is.
but it's been searching for you.
Oh, falcon
Yeah.
friend. I pet my falcon friend on the head.
And that's your turn.
Just have
a full
moment.
6-second scritch.
I've missed you too.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to visualize this. So the cone of light is blocking the entrance of the doorway.
Yeah, it's not light. It's like this invisible sort of like wavy aura.
Anti-magic.
Yeah, but you can feel it like as soon as you're out of it, you can feel that you're like the magic surges into you again. So you're kind of like right around the corner from where the Xanathar was staring at you
with my bird.
with your bird.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The range I've got, I feel like there's nothing I can do out there. I can throw some bardic inspiration at everyone, and that's about it.
Play a song.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start playing a theme, like a SWOJ theme song or something to kind of pump
SWOJ
everyone else
theme
up.
song. I include some lyrics about loser brain people and how they're not much fun and no one likes them anyway.
Okay.
And we're cooler than them.
And that trickles into the room, and you all hear it. And the different Kuo-toa that are flailing around the sides kind of like shriek and hiss as the music hits their fish ears. Next, the Xanathar's body opens up one of its eye stalks and targets Zay. Make a Constitution save, Zay, as this bright golden beam kind of powers up from one of its lower eye stalks.
3.
Zay, you take 27 necrotic damage.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That's a higher number though. Not a lot higher.
Are you down? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, and yeah, so as it does that, it closes its central eye in order to fire this beam at you, and so the anti-magic shield goes away, and it fires this beam at you instead, and starts to kind of hover towards you all. So it's like within like 20 feet of Lark and Scoot. Zay, you're kind of like smashed against the wall as that hits you, but you regain your footing, groggy, and the unicorn seems to kind of like be sharing its energy with you, and you don't get taken down in one hit quite yet. Next is you, Zay.
I will use a bonus action to use Balm of the Summer Court on myself.
Okay.
And regain 7 hit points.
All right. Add an extra D10 to that as the unicorn seems to channel its own energy into you, and it actually kind of like touches your arm with its horn, the crystal unicorn. And you notice that from the far side of the room, the unicorn is watching you. Would you roll?
You know what she
One.
rolled.
Thumbs up. So you heal a little bit more. The unicorn is very tired. Next is Lark.
I'm going to continue sneak. So, to point of clarification, the mind flayer is right by, or no, the beholder was right by the unicorn, but has now moved.
Yeah.
Is the mind flayer also right there by the unicorn?
Yeah, the beholder is like 20 feet away from you. The mind flayer is like 60 feet away from you, 50 or 60 feet away from you, next to the unicorn.
I'm going to continue to sneak towards the unicorn, and as I pass the beholder, I'll be really, really extra careful
Okay.
to not draw attention to myself.
Okay.
Okay.
So you make your way full move action, like all the way over.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. You end up like right next to the beholder, like just like 10 feet away from it, or not the beholder, the mind flayer,
Okay.
like 10 feet away, and it's not even like really paying attention to its surroundings. It's kind of like meditating on the Xanathar. So you're there. You see the unicorn in all of its glory.
And how far away from me is the unicorn now?
About 10 feet.
Okay.
10 or 20 feet.
Wait, 10 or 20?
Oh.
You were 50 feet away before, and you did full move action while stealth. So you're like 10 feet away.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Mine was just a bonus action. I didn't do anything else.
Oh, yeah. Did you want to add something to that?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Am I within reach of anyone?
I mean, I was quite injured in the last fight.
Ilka's down the hallway away from you.
Yeah.
Scoot
she's
and Lark are ahead of you.
Probably too
And
far.
I'm so sneaky you can't even see me.
Yeah, you don't even know where they are.
Okay. I will also. How injured are you?
Or do you yell into the other room?
How do I remember?
There's like music
Ilka
coming
looking
from behind
pretty
you
rough?
right now. Dun, 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 dun. This is how you play concertina.
Good fingering.
Thanks.
Matthias is doing air
Um,
concertina.
I'm gonna just like I'm feeling so good about that bomb of the summer court that I'm just gonna let it spread out from me all the way to her
Okay.
for 3 points plus a temporary hit point.
There she blows.
Every little bit counts.
Scoot.
All right. So I am also 60 feet away from the mind flayer
Yes.
and 20 feet away from
The beholder.
the beholder. All right. Do I know where Lark is?
Right. Not unless you guys have a way of signaling each other.
Probably don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I feel like we do. Like we've known each other for so long.
Like, what would it be though? Like a
Yeah. It's
Bing
like
bong.
the call of a cave spider.
I'm so torn right now.
what's the
I
call
can
of a
become
cave spider? Like,
So, like, Do that. I make a little
Okay.
sound.
I would like to. I'm going to follow Lark's lead. I want to. Even I know at this point that the mind flayer is the real threat.
okay.
I want to get down there. As much as I'd love to get up there with Beholder and get it all up in his brain parts, I feel like we need to get down there and take him out. Here's my question. Are the Beholder and Mind Flayer within 30 feet of each other?
No.
They're, okay.
Oh,
20 and 60 is what we established.
Well, that's dumb. I will.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go keep sneaking down. I want to get to within one turn of the Mind Flayer.
Okay, so you both are like, yeah, you both are like right up in the Mind Flayer's grill, but it's too busy controlling the Xanathar's body to notice you.
Yep.
And as that happens, it fires another eye beam at Zay.
Oh no! You got to be down behind cover at this point, though.
No, she's kind of standing right in the middle.
No, she's not. I don't think.
Make a Constitution save, Zay.
10.
10. You are struck with the same fear beam that hit Lark earlier. You are suddenly feel this sense of total.
I have
like,
advantage on saving throws against being frightened.
roll again.
21.
All right.
There it is.
All right, yeah, and you and the unicorn together, you're just like telling the Xanathar to
That
stuff
cute
it.
little mind
You
flayer.
march forward valiantly as this beam just scorches past you. Next is Ilka.
Cool. I'm out in the hallway. I guess I'm gonna go join the fray and start sprinting in.
Just full tilt all the way in
Yep.
as far as you can.
Heading towards the mind flayer.
Okay. So you make your way like right up next to the beholder before you run out of your move action. So that's where you end up. With your falcon on your shoulder, on your arm?
I'm going to shrug it so it can fly up towards the ceiling.
Okay. And it kind of takes off and soars over the Xanathar at the same time. And that's where you end up. Next would be the Beholder once again. It is going to try to bite you, Ilka, as you run past it.
Wow, you got
With
close
its-
fast.
With its fangy mouth.
I can't even visualize what it looks like trying to bite me.
Does an 11 hit you? It doesn't.
No.
So it's lurching around, and it just kind of like reflexively, like this giant Beholder mouth chomps down, but you're already moving past it. You're moving so fast. And your falcon's actually kind of providing some deterrence up above. It's pecking away at its eye stalks and whatnot, so it's a little bit lost because of that. So that's that. Next is Lark.
Okay.
Sorry, Zay.
Okay, then I'm
Zay,
going to
I
let
think
Zay take a
you're
turn.
at the 1. That's right.
Okay. How far is the Beholder from me? The Beholder's body.
You're still by the entrance of the room, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So about 40 feet.
Okay. And
40 feet.
how near the edge of the green pool is it?
It is about 40 feet away from that as well.
Oh. I thought it was closer than that. How close is the mind flare to the edge of the green pool?
It's right next to it.
Okay. I'd like to move the earth underneath the mind flare.
Okay. What's the range on that spell? Is it?
Oh, that's a good point. He's 80 feet away.
Yeah.
I'm not close enough. I'm going to move closer into the room
okay. Like as far as you can.
as far as I can.
Okay, so you end up right next to the Xanathar as well. The two of you are kind of flanking the Xanathar at this point, because you have halfling legs, so you run a little more slowly.
I do.
Next is Lark, right next to the Mind Flayer.
And also 10 feet away from the unicorn.
Right.
I'm going to go to the unicorn instead. I'm going to close the distance to the unicorn. How does it looks? You said it looks kind of
It's
malnourished.
struggling, yeah, and it looks up at you, hopefully.
So I have a potion of greater healing. I have no idea if those work on unicorns, but I'm going to hold it up to its little horsey lips and try to like drip it into its mouth.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm into it.
And it guzzles it like as you go. Totally no scruples. It's like, thank you. And it heals 44 plus 4 damage. So
I'm going to
Heals-
also scritch its horn. Does that give it any bonus?
We'll just
no,
say
it heals
20.
you 3 health right off the bat just by touching its horn.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Wow.
Oh my god, you're
Yeah.
sucking its health out of it.
No,
With
but
its
it
horn?
heals 12 health, and it looks rejuvenated already. Like it starts to kind of stream silvery light as it stands up on its 4 legs.
Help us,
It starts
Lyrian.
to step out.
I whisper really quietly so I don't come out of stealth.
It says, "Gather around me, everyone." And at that, the mind flare, like its pale, glazed over eyes suddenly snap back into reality once again.
and then does the beholder that it was animating fall to the ground again?
no, but it kind of slumps over and gets more like dejected looking.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So that's your turn. Scoot, what do you want to do? You all hear that, the unicorn's voice.
Okay, so now I'm within range of the mind flare.
Yes.
The mind flare is real close to the green pool.
Right.
Oh, I think. Do I know what's in the green pool?
You do not.
If I had to take a guess, if I could.
Well, the intellect devourer crawled out of it, so that's your only clue.
Okay, and that's bad.
Right.
Okay,
I mean, I think.
I think.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I would like to. Please, let's say this can work. I want to run at the mind flayer, full tilt, and try to spear him into the pool
Like with the tip of your axe, or how?
with my body,
Okay.
with my whole body, and I want to try to launch using my boots of striding and springing to give me some extra oomph.
Where do you want to land? Like in the pool?
If I can not, that'd be cool.
You want to
But
like slam him against a wall, or like?
I would love to. I just kind of want to knock him into the pool.
Okay.
I think.
Make an attack roll.
Like foot
Strength
first.
check.
Foot first.
Foot first. Maybe it's a Sparta kick. Maybe it's a drop kick.
Are you raging?
Oh, yeah, I should do that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hey.
I just was going to be totally chill while that
Fair
happened.
question.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll rage.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and you wanted a
Strength check.
You wanna
Opposed strength checks.
opposed strength check. Okay. I'll start with a 19.
That hits.
All right.
So you carry it into the pool. So Scoot launches you. How do you describe it? What do you want? What do you want to do? Describe it.
Let's the vision I have is I don't know if it's something that's going to kill me or not, the
Yeah.
stuff. but I'm familiar with water and I can breathe underwater, and that's all that's coming to me. So I'm just going to run up to him as best I can, drop my head, drop my shoulder, spear him with my body, and carry us, I guess, both into this unknown liquid.
Okay. And all of you see Scoot and the Mind Flayer go splashing into the liquid, Scoot bearing down his weight on top of the Mind Flayer, and you start to sink in the liquid. It seems kind of sticky, but you are able to swim through it as you sink downwards. You see dark shapes in the liquid around you.
I don't like that. Now I want to get out.
Okay. Okay. Ilka, you're next to the Mind Flayer, or the Beholder.
I just saw Scoot tackle this thing into the sludge.
Yes, and you heard the unicorn's voice a moment ago, too. As Lark poured a potion
cool.
into its
How
lips.
far?
It said gather round me.
Yeah, how far am I to the unicorn?
About 40 feet.
I'm going to move to the unicorn.
Okay. Like right up next to it? Touching it?
Yeah, and then so from that I'm at the pool, so I'm going to bonus and inspire Scoot.
With whatever he needs?
With whatever he needs.
So like you're playing music all the way as you go.
Right, probably some Survivor.
Can I request We Will Rock You?
Keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Okay. The Xanathar's body whips around of its own volition at this point and opens its top eye, and a bright green beam starts to charge up, targeted towards you, Lark. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm right by the unicorn.
You are.
Oh, no.
But it asked for that. It wanted to be by you.
9.
9 fails. As you are hit by the disintegration beam.
That's the fun one. The tickles.
What?
Oh, sorry. That's a dexterity save. So does that help at all?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's a 13.
Still fails. Do you have advantage on those as a rogue?
No.
Okay. Then
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
some damage.
If you do a
Spark's my
whistle,
best
that
friend.
makes
This
me
is how
think.
Thail went down.
Starting to feel like the green spot is safe.
20,
20? I just, as a,
27.
I'll just mention, oh, God.
The numbers keep going up.
30 damage.
Okay.
30. Yeah. Does
Whoop.
that kill you?
What's the rule on disintegration? Because that is more hit points than I have.
Okay, Lark, your body turns into a pile of fine dust. Do you have any last words?
For justice.
Okay, and you all see Lark get lifted off of his feet as he heals this unicorn by this beam of green energy, and then start to, Avengers style, crumple into dust.
Is my hat the last thing to go?
Yes, it falls on top of the pile of dust and
nice.
kind of like urn-like almost
It
conserves
floats-
it all.
Floats down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the Xanathar's turn. Scoot, you're next.
Okay. Am
I still love you, BTS.
I love you too, Justin.
okay, so what's my situation?
You're underwater with this mind flare underneath you,
Does it?
feeling a surge of confidence as you hear the music up above. You don't know what just happened.
Okay. There's nothing really tactically I can do. I mean, I'm getting out. There's weird things down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting out.
You hear the unicorn once again saying, "Quickly!"
I'm getting up. I get up and I hop out with all my sailor abilities that I can, even though
It's
I've
easy.
never really gotten out of water easily. Anytime I have to roll
No, it
for
comes naturally to you.
Okay, so I hop out.
Especially with inspiration.
Yeah, and then I hop out and I see.
And you see this.
Oh, and now am I within range of the
The mind flare?
not
the
the mind
Xanathar?
flare, the Xanathar?
It's about 40 feet away, so not exactly.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I go over towards. Is the unicorn close to Lark?
Yes, it's like standing over his ashes.
Okay, I stand in front of the unicorn, between the unicorn and the beholder,
Okay.
and Lark's ashes.
Okay.
Yeah, just like I don't know what happened, but I see a pile of dust. I remember what happened before, and I see his hat, and he doesn't go nowhere without that hat.
Ilka.
Specifically, I'm taking the dodge action.
Okay.
We're gathered at the unicorn. I'm not sure what happens next. Scoot, touch the unicorn.
Do I have a free action?
Yeah, you can touch it.
Touch the unicorn.
So the two of you are touching the unicorn. Zay, you're playing catch up, but you're almost there. So what do you do for your action?
I'm going to transform into a panther, and with a loud, keening growl, I'm going to run toward the unicorn with my 50 feet of speed.
Totally.
And to try to get near Lark. That was.
And you leap towards it, and literally, as soon as you touch the unicorn, the three of you.
Wait, I grab Lark's hat.
Okay. Yeah, and you kind of pull it towards
with the other hand.
Yeah, and it leaves a little trail of ash as you pull it.
Oh
But
God!
you feel a sucking sensation, and like a rainbow of scintillating light swirls all around you, and your stomachs lurch for a second, and you land sideways on the floor of the Short Rest Tavern. It's empty. It's like midnight. With Lark's hat kind of drifting down once again and landing on the ashes next to the unicorn and the three of you. And that's where we'll call it for today.
Oh.
So, thank you everyone for coming.
Twin Portals is produced and edited by Scott Hebert. The adventure is created by our Dungeon Master Matthias Valero, and the rest of the Silver Waves of Justice are played by Kendra Carlson, Beth Brophy, and Justin Peck. Once again, special thanks to John Brophy for his lighting and sound expertise on this live episode. If you didn't know, the Twin Portals crew has a Discord server. It's basically a bunch of us gaming fans chatting away about all sorts of stuff. Discord is a free app and available for PC, Android, or iOS, and the server link is in the description to this episode. When you're not listening to SWOJ, we'd appreciate it if you gave some love to our friends at the Nearest Stars, Horror Rewind, and Take It With You. This activity is made possible in part by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Thank you to Leeland Campana for use of his song Avernum as our theme song. Thank you to the Renegade Theater Company, Tiacha Zacconi, and Mary Fox for supporting us and giving us a place to record. And most of all, thank you for listening to Twin Portals. We've been wandering back and forth around your notes for the past half hour.
Yeah, Scott saw the Lark dice first note and shared that. I feel like that makes me sad.
I didn't laugh that much.